Yeah. You know how you overthink stuff, man. And you just say, you know what? Just press the button. Let's get going. Let's get going. A lot of news, baby. We updating, frustrating Knicks news. But I'm here for it. Here to make you feel better in any weather. Fabian perspective expected, so accepted. Knicks Rehab. Dale un like, comentario. Deja un like, comentario. Y suscribe. My partner was here. He would say it in English, but don't tell him I told you what I'm really saying, because he thinks I'm really talking about him, and it's hilarious. Knicks Rehab, baby. Um, we may have some guest appearances from Knicks Rehab friends. And just check on some things here. Tap in if y'all can. There we go. Knicks Rehab. A lot of news, lot of news. The first thing, you see the thumbnail, OG Anunoby. Jesus Christ. Can we catch a break? Can we catch a break? Seems like we can't. I'm getting more worried. I'm getting more and more worried, guys. I'm getting more worried. OG Anunoby ruled out for tomorrow's game versus the Grizzlies. Let me just load that up. Share screen. OG Anunoby ruled out. This is SNY. Reporting it. Not me. My sources is Google and Twitter right now. And some sneaky ones that I will never tell you about because they shall remain anonymous. But in all seriousness, OG Anunoby is listed out for tomorrow's game versus the Grizzlies. He's set to miss his 5th straight game with right elbow inflammation. The Knicks so far, the last 4 games, are 3-1 without OG. We saw deficiencies against the LA Lakers. I'll get to in a second with Towelgate over there, trying to use and abuse us as usual, using the New Yorkers to boost you guys up. And of course, you have OG Anunoby here, who's his stock has risen because he is a part of the New York Knicks. The New York platform will big you up when you deserve it. And you see he's out for tomorrow again, right elbow inflammation. And I've been wondering, has anyone reported anything else besides this? Like, look, the last I saw from anyone reporting anything was I think it was the Daily News, but the New York Post uses stuff as well. And they have OG Anunoby out against, this was on the 29th of January. About a week ago, OG Anunoby was out against the Hornets with elbow inflammation. And all it says here was that he was a late scratch. Why is it doing that? He was a late scratch from the Hornets, from the Monday's 113-92 win over the Hornets with an inflamed right elbow, an injury he aggravated up during the pregame warmups. So that's the last time we saw him. We knew about the warmups, and he re-aggravated it, right? That I found. Maybe you guys in the chat could tell me otherwise. They list him here as a power forward, which he's a hybrid over there at the front court. Of course, a defensive revelation since his acquisition last month. Part of the key New York 6-game winning streak back then. They were on a 6-game winning streak. As you guys know, the Lakers ended our 9-game winning streak on Saturday, and that was tough, and it's going to be tougher going forward with a guy like this who, he's the response to the Anthony Davis in a world like that, in a game like that, a matchup of that magnitude. Anthony Davis, Defensive Player of the Year. We were excited to boost OG Anunoby as our Defensive Player of the Year. and get him as close as possible to that award with the way he's been able to elevate us. He's the counter to Anthony Davis or anybody else's number one guy, whether you're a number one option on offense or you're the Boston Celtics and you have Drew Holiday and you're able to lock up or give problems to Jalen Brunson. By the way, yeah, it's Hollywood Fabian, baby. These shades do better with these damn ring lights in my face. That's the real reason why. That's the reason why, or the excuse that I'm going to use why I got them on. But I just love them. I gotta keep the shades on, baby. Keep the stunner shades on while we mourn the injuries to Julius Randle, OG Anunoby. It's changing things, man. It just really is. Yeah, that was a New York Post article, and it's if you think that's bad having OG out, we joked about it the other night on Knicks Rehab or yesterday on Sundays Knicks Rehab, but we also have an injury update for the Memphis Grizzlies. Shout out to the Strickland. You know, they like to tell jokes. We always tell jokes about everything. Hold on a second. Shout out to the Strickland. Add to the stage. Why are you guys making this more difficult? So you see there, the Memphis Grizzlies are without Bane, Clark, LaRavia, John Moran, of course, Victor Oladipo, who they just acquired from the Houston Rockets, Marcus Smart, Zaire Williams. We got to look into what the deal is with that Steven Adams trade for the Grizzlies. Maybe it has to do with money, but Steven Adams was like a major piece for the Grizzlies, and I was doubtful about him going to the Grizzlies when they acquired him from Oklahoma City. I think he was at. I didn't think he would be such a major piece, and he was. And for them to trade him, that's a big deal. I mean, he was the guy that wanted to fight Shannon Sharp, right? He was going to stand between everybody and fight Shannon Sharp. And along with that, he helped them anchor that team. But he's not there anymore. You have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7 guys out from the Grizzlies. 2 guys are doubtful, which is Jaren Jackson Jr. and Xavier Tillman. And so that's 9, right? And then the questionable is Aldama, Konkar, former Chicago Bull and New York Knicks, Derrick Rose, and Williams. So their injury list is way worse than ours. And you know, I think this is why I'm okay with OG Anunoby being out another game. Again, as I explained yesterday, or I'll sound like a broken record, Tom Thibodeau plays a football style, defensive style of game. That's his coaching style. We need the OG Anunobys of the world and more defensive players to be able to, you know, replace each other and be interchangeable pieces in a lineup like this. And we need them as healthy as possible for the playoff run. I mean, I think it's not just hyperbole anymore. You see a whole bunch of people, a whole bunch of media members, and just basketball fans in general. They're closer to saying, "Hey, this might be a championship team." So, especially fully healthy, like, it's just absolutely scary what's going on with us over here. Oh, look who it is! Fleeting thoughts, the master himself. Is your mic on? Let me see.
What's up, brother?
Maybe my mic isn't on. Hold on. Oh yeah, my mic. Hold on. Give me a second, Flea, so I can hear you. Oh, there we go. I can hear you, Flea. You ready? Flea Money.
I'm here, brother.
All right.
Can you hear me?
I can hear you now.
Fabian, what's the deal, man?
Just going through the Knicks updates, jumping right into it. You see, we got the who started the whole shade wave out here, fleeting thoughts out here, baby. The shades are back on.
You know how we do it.
I don't know if you heard OJ Anunoby out again 5 straight games. Again, it's the elbow injury. Something's going on with that. I'm gonna just shut your mic off while because it's the background noise. I'll shut that down so we can get the mics in order. 5 straight games. OJ Anunoby is out. We're 3-1 without him. Well, you can't hear me?
Let me get my headphones and I'm gonna come back in.
Okay. Yeah, so 5 straight games with OJ Anunoby out, like I was telling Flea. And you saw the Grizzlies, you know, part of what gives us some sort of confidence is that they're just limping towards the finish line. Also, speaking of injury updates, we have this actually marks the 8th week that we have been without Mitchell Robinson, right? This is the 8th week that we are out, that Mitchell Robinson has been out. He had ankle surgery back in December. Fred Katz reported that on Twitter. I like to give people their props. He's a Knicks reporter, basically. I forgot who he works for. My bad, Fred Katz. Knicks are not practicing today, so no official update from Tom Thibodeau. No official update from Tom Thibodeau until he speaks to reporters pre-game tomorrow. So before the Memphis Grizzlies game tomorrow night, up until the Memphis Grizzlies pre-game, that's when we'll get or look for or inquire about Mitchell Robinson's latest news on his ankle. It's been 8 weeks. The 8 to 10 week period was when he would have been reevaluated. So today officially marks that evaluation period. Major news updates. Next, I was looking at trade updates, right? And this is a guy that I rock with. Shout out to AllBall. He put me on to my guy. Knicks TV, Knicks Chat Now. He keeps us just.
Are you ready for New York Knicks basketball to be back? If you are, I want you to hit that thumbs up icon right now.
He gives great opinions on the Knicks, what he's looking forward to having with the Knicks. He seems pretty reasonable, this guy, Knicks.
Step into Wix Studio, the
Knicks
platform
Now
for
by
agencies
Chat
and
Sports.
enterprises.
Pretty sure you guys haven't heard of him.
Layouts.
He's just
according to the latest NBA trade rumors,
the way he laces his news is amazing. I just definitely want to share his channel with us here. It's all family. Show you what he got going on in his report.
Rumors: Leon Rose, Tom Thibodeau, and the New York Knicks are looking to make a major trade prior to the NBA trade deadline, which is just a couple of days away. And that's why you should subscribe to New York Knicks Now by Chat Sports. First, I just want to thank everybody that has subscribed to this channel and joined us on our journey. We just crossed over 34,000.
So you see, he got over 34,000 views. Go over there, lock in with him.
Just days away from the NBA trade deadline. And the question out there is, will Leon Rose make a move to help bolster this roster and give the New York Knicks and Jalen Brunson a chance to win the NBA title? Reports are coming out that the Knicks are looking to make a bigger trade than for a guy like Bruce Brown. This is what Matt Moore of the Action Network had to say. Quote, the Knicks continue to be mentioned as a potential landing spot for Bruce Brown, but New York has been seeking bigger deals. Brown might wind up being the plan B or plan C option for the Knicks, an outside source suggested. So when I first saw that, my question to myself was, what is Leon Rose up to? And I wonder how much that loss on Saturday against the Los Angeles Lakers kind of changes the immediate future and plans of the trade deadline for the New York Knicks. A lot of their problems have gone under the table and under talked about, as the Knicks did win 9 in a row. They won 15 of 17 prior to the loss, but sometimes a loss is a good thing, and it shows you kind of the wounds and scars of this team, which we know the Knicks still have. They need another creator. They need another guy that can score the basketball. And on top of this report, Leon Rose and Rich Paul, aka CAA Mafia, and Clutch Sports.
Yeah, so I always talk about that ad nauseum, right? CAA, and I'll get into that in a second with Towelgate over there. They think they're slick. And they got the media member on ESPN going crazy. But we'll get to that later on with them Clutch boys. You guys are for sale. You ain't fooling me. So yeah, CAA and Clutch is supposedly created a treaty, and that is what should help the Knicks try to go get a DeJounte Murray and Malcolm Brogdon as well. And don't forget, Zach LaVine has been rumored to come to the Knicks. LeBron is a Clutch client. We talked about that, about him coming to the Knicks as well. But that's what's setting the tone for a supposed major trade happening before the trade deadline strikes. So, and that was Matt Moore from Action Network who reported it. And that's our guy there from Knicks Now by Chat Sports. I forgot that guy's name, but he's a cool dude reporting that. We'll see what happens. Like, I'm not, again, I want to be patient, but my thing is, if we're going to give up that many draft picks, the Mikal Bridges, of course, that makes sense, and it's going to feel like home when you have a Mikal Bridges alongside his partners, Jalen Brunson and DiVincenzo there, Josh Hart there. That all makes sense, and it's all fine and dandy, but it might cost you too much. Why not try to go get, I'm going to always say Herb Jones on the Pelicans, who's like a baby version of that, and maybe we could get him for cheaper. I'm not sure, because Dave Griffin, he's pretty shrewd, just like Sean Marks is over there in Brooklyn, when those two guys running their respective organizations. So, with the OG injury taking place, it seems like we need that guy. Mikal Bridges, of course, is more polished and honed in on who he is and more realized on who he is, and definitely just a super or a super compliment to an OG Anunoby and the rest of these Knicks. That's going to be, what they envisioned, Paul George and Kawhi Leonard to be, but they were older already. The injuries added more attrition to them. OG Anunoby, aside from this injury, we really didn't know. I mean, he has an injury history, so he has that working against him. But the Mikal Bridges, he's an Iron Man, so you got to compliment him and the Knicks and Tom Thibodeau's style of play. Mikal Bridges adds that, along with the fact that you need a bigger body, a taller body there that can do something. Because Brunson, we saw how he was, not exposed. We've always known he's a shorter player, he's a smaller player, and doubling him up and dealing with a smaller player, how NBA defense, professional defenses are going to treat him. Hey, we've seen it. We already knew this. So maybe his partner over there from Villanova can come in there and spell him on offense, have him rest a little bit as well. He's not a number one guy per se, but again, I'm more of a fan of going for these underdogs, number two types, guys who aren't into being divas. Like they're going to be on a mission. Like, these guys want to make history. Like, let's keep that in mind. That's why the Villanova thing is funny and we can make a joke about it. But now it's turned the tide. Now it sounds like, all right, it was a joke before, but now we're talking championship. Now everything's so much more realistic. So Mikal Bridges, I would think when you talk about a blockbuster deal, if you're saying the Knicks are going to make a blockbuster deal, that's Mikal Bridges, the DeJounte Murray type. Because even Donovan Mitchell at this point, they are blockbusters. Donovan Mitchell is probably the biggest star out of all those guys. And if you're talking about Clutch, LeBron is the biggest star. That's as blockbuster as you can get. There's no bigger star in the game. But that doesn't seem to fit the mold of what Leon Rose has been doing, right? Again, shout out to AllBall. Obi Toppin, when they let him go, traded him away. You kind of trim the fat off of what they're looking for, Thibodeau type of guys. Even as soon as, if we're going to go back, actually, getting Kemba Walker, the way that Tom Thibodeau was like, yo, this is not what I wanted. He was very adamant about that. That set the tone for the next coming years where, say what you want about Tom Thibodeau, he doesn't come off like some a schmuck. He doesn't come off like some guy you could talk to any way you want to, and the players respect him. I know what the footage they caught of Obi Toppin in the background, and he was saying whatever about Tom Thibodeau. They come off like they joke around with him, and Julius Randle. I've never heard him disrespect Tom Thibodeau. Quite the opposite, actually. So you have these pieces that you want to surround them with, and the blockbuster pieces. A blockbuster piece for me is the Mikal Bridges, Herb Jones type, straight up defenders who can really switch on defense, fill in for OG while he's not there, and then become a super duper version of what the Knicks can be with OG Anunoby, Herb Jones, spelling Jalen Brunson there, so that each possession on offense, it becomes even what's the word? Each possession will become more, how would you say, not fatal, dime, but more explosive. Like each possession on offense, when you have a defense like that, like the Detroit Pistons, is like, even if we miss, you got to score on us. So every time we score, it's like a bomb. Like when Jalen Brunson scores against the Lakers, we didn't have OG out there, but if we did, that game we would have been up by 10 points in the fourth quarter. And the Lakers would have been behind us and everything like that. It changes everything when you have those defensive pieces around the defensive style coach. Dime Dropper. 65 people in the building. What's going on, y'all?
Dude, Knicks Rehab has been absolutely killing it lately.
Come on, man. You see the glasses.
What's up with that? What was up with the shades? I watched you guys' live. Not live, but I watched it today.
Well, it went from funeral mode to getting, buried by the Lakers the way that we did. Exaggerated it. It was an excellent game.
I watched the last game, so I can actually comment.
Oh, let's go. Well, one second. Let me get to before we get there, I was on the trading block chat, and we do have an update from Jake Fisher. What do I have? Here we go. Jake Fisher from Yahoo Sports. Let me see. Jake Fisher from Yahoo Sports. Let me scroll down here. I mean, you know what? Let me add you guys to the scroll. Get you in the feeling of what we're doing over here. Scroll down. As the Knicks, this is Jake Fisher. Yahoo Sports is saying that the Knicks, what will the Knicks do? The Knicks have shown legitimate interest in Washington, sources said, as they examine their options. The Knicks appear more interested in Toronto guard Bruce Brown Jr., for whom the Raptors are seeking some return in the range of a first-round pick, compared to Atlanta's steeper asking price of 2 picks, and then some for Murray. It's become clear that the Knicks, hey, why would you do that? It's become clear that the Knicks aren't willing to part with Quentin Grimes unless New York is trading the young swingman for a perceived upgrade, sources said, as opposed to swapping him for a different back of the rotation piece. Grimes continues to have fans in Atlanta and Utah, sources said. What sources are you talking about, Jake Fisher? What fans? Quentin Grimes has fans in Utah? Does he have like a Mormon hive in in the Salt Lake City town? The Jazz roster several players, most notably Kelly Olynyk and Jordan Clarkson, whom the Knicks still have on their radar, according to league sources. I think that's okay. Here's the DeJounte Murray update too. The Hawks, despite making the bulk of their roster available, have won 4 games. Trae Young, from the beginning of the cycle, Hawks did not have to move Murray before the deadline. Hawks fans will surely remember the John Collins years. The Lakers, for example, will be eligible. The lack of teams with legitimate first-round ammo to trade before the deadline has been apparent around the league. In addition, the more stringent salary matching rules for tax teams also seems to be posing greater challenges for front offices. So this is major. The lack of teams with legitimate first-round ammo to trade before the deadline has been apparent around the league. So the Atlanta Hawks are pretty much worried about first-round draft picks for the DeJounte Murray deal, right? And salary cap matching, because Murray's making around $20-something million a year, which isn't that crazy. But the Lakers are offering a 2029 pick, Dime. Well, don't you think if we're in 2024. In 5 years, I think part of what makes that first round pick unattractive is that the Lakers are so always gung-ho for going after superstars. So it's like, if I'm Atlanta, why the hell am I going to go after your Lakers first round draft pick? The Knicks got we got a Dallas one, we got a Detroit one, or whatever the hell we got. It ain't just Knicks draft picks, because we're trying to be good for the next couple of years, but that's why we loaded up on other people's draft picks, similar to OKC. I gotta unmute you, Don.
Oh, that does make sense. The Lakers always try to, like, they don't like being bad at all. They always want to bring in a new star. But who knows, after LeBron era ends, because every team LeBron leaves, they're never like good immediately after. Like, they do suck because he leaves them high and dry. So we'll see if that happens to the Lakers. You know what I mean? Because when Kobe retired, like, they accommodated Kobe. You know what I'm saying? Before he retired, they let him get paid to thank him for all he had done, even though he was hurting the team basically and not really allowing the younger guys to flourish. So, yeah, I mean, who knows what it's going to be like? Because it looks like LeBron's going to retire a Laker, but who knows? He's unpredictable in terms of when it comes to moving teams.
We'll get to LeBron in a second with his little Towelgate and Brian Windhorst. I don't respect anything they're doing. They are reeling. I don't care how much you're worth, Rich Paul. It still hurts. It's still competitive. We'll get to that later on. The important piece, of course, if you're a Knicks fan, is pertaining to Quentin Grimes in that piece that Fisher from Yahoo Sports reported. We're not trying to trade him unless we get a legitimate spot, a legitimate player who can come in there and not just play out this season. We're talking about future seasons, and it makes a lot of sense because Quentin Grimes and Dante DiVincenzo, they spell minutes, but they're essentially kind of the same role. And defensively, Grimes is a better one-on-one guy, but DiVincenzo, he can fly around a little bit, work off the ball a little bit, weak side a little more, and just makes different plays. He's streaky. Grimes and DiVincenzo are both streaky. Neither one are set shooters. Neither one are premier shooters like that. They're going to be Buddy Hield-ish, but they have more, they play with a better IQ than Buddy Hield, especially Dante DiVincenzo this season. He's been just flat out amazing. So Grimes and DiVincenzo been spelling minutes. You got to replace Grimes with somebody who can play that much. Again, remember, he has to go, and we're looking for someone to play alongside McBride and to replace the IQ RJ Barrett minutes with the second unit. That's what's ruining us. I don't think Tibbs wants to ruin these guys or run these guys to the ground. And if you trade Grimes with somebody that can fulfill that role and a slight upgrade, especially on offense, it changes everything, and it tells you that the Knicks, what they're going after, the direction they're going after, and what to improve. I'll give you that. By the way, former NBA star. No. Let's go with this, man. Let's go on a lighter note, because we're always worried about the Knicks and what's going on with the trades and everything like that. All this hyperbole or all this worry and anxiety. Kids say that everything's anxiety. But, man,
and gifted broadcasters.
Let's talk about Mike Breen, Walt Frazier, 25 years together. 25 years together, MSG broadcasters. A delight for us. You see Mike Breen, come on, man. He's a national treasure out here. ESPN, ABC putting him out there. He's been through, the Mark Jackson, Jeff Van Gundy tandem of broadcast on ESPN and ABC. Now he has to go. He almost went through the driest spell of all time with Doris Burke and Doc Rivers. That would have been the most horrendous championship broadcast ever, especially when you compare, being alongside Walt Clyde Frazier. And here's what Mike Breen had to say, being along about his relationship with Walt Clyde Frazier.
Last year, right?
You were one of the most unique and gifted broadcasters in the history of the NBA. And for all of us, it's been such a privilege to work with you. And for me personally, to sit by your side all these years has been one of the joys of my life. You were one of the most unique and gifted broadcasters.
Wait, This was
Yo.
last year, right? When he almost started crying.
Yeah.
That was last season. I remember that. That was very
Right.
touching, man. Because Breen, he's like a Knicks fan from that time. You know what I mean? So when he was sitting next to Mark and JVG all these years, it feels like he's talking to an equal. But when he's talking to Clyde and he's broadcasting, he's like he's talking to a superior. And I think that's really interesting to see that. And I don't blame him. I mean, that's Clyde Frazier. He could have said player instead of broadcaster, and it still would have been valid. So, yeah, you guys are very spoiled and lucky, but I can't say that I can't complain about announcing as an LA sports fan because we were blessed with the best in all sports. So we had Bob Miller, Vince Scully, Chick Hearn, who I never got to see live, which sucks. And then Ralph Lawler for us. So we were very blessed. But yeah, Breen and Clyde, I mean, that's maybe the best in the league.
Ooh, best in the league. But we just also as Knicks fans, we love Frazier being honest in his own cool way. Like he'll just talk about he'll casually mention what's the guy Oubre who was out by getting hit by a bike or whatever he was saying he was on his bike. He was just like, hey, wasn't this guy just out but hit by a car on a bike? I'm like, he on a bike riding? He's back so soon. I wonder what happened with that. It's just so old school, casual, drop off some real information. And he's from the old school Frazier. The way he talks about his past, the way they respect Willis Reed. And you're right. Jeff Van Gundy and of course Mark Jackson, New York pillars. But media-wise, even they're not Mike Breen, and they're not Clyde Frazier. And of course, before Mike Breen, it was Marv Albert. Marv Albert is too legendary. Like, I don't think, no disrespect to Chick Hearn and these guys, Chick Hearn is probably better play-by-play. He's ill. Chick Hearn is damn near second to none. But Marv Albert is too legendary. And Mike Breen to follow him up is kind of insane and do such a great job. And again, Chick Hearn never went national. Mike Breen is New York and going national. So, of course, respect to Chick Hearn. God bless. And him and his family, of course. But this is amazing. 25 years of these guys. Definitely got to cherish them and salute them because obviously the older we get, we take things for granted. I'm seeing a lot of people take things for granted. They don't know what 25 years of nothing is. You haven't even wiped your ass for 25 years properly. These kids out here, let alone call a game for 25 years. That's amazing. So you kids out there, you're spoiled right now. Walt Frazier's a little bit older. That's why 25 years is so great. And I definitely wanted to highlight that. I want to highlight this too right here. He said it earlier about LeBron. What did you say earlier, Dime? LeBron leaves teams and
high and dry when free agency, yeah. Because they go all out for him and the whole team is built around him. And then he leaves and everyone's like, look at their record without him. Like, no shit. Like, you built your whole team around him and he leaves in free agency.
So this I forgot this kid's name, but I think it's Domo. His player's choice, but he's also like a big LeBron guy, and he always goes at Michael Jordan. But this is what he had to say about LeBron's leadership.
Has that issue where it's just like some nights he's the GOAT.
Hold on, I gotta unmute the site. My bad, guys. I'm gonna read.
He's just LeBron. Now, LeBron is a bad thing. Just LeBron is still phenomenal, better than 85% of the league. But just LeBron goes on the court and he's pulling the Julius Randle. He's throwing his hands up when the ball's turned over, walking up the court. He's walking off the court 30 seconds before the game ends, and not dapping nobody up when he loses. He displays a real sore loser mentality a lot of the times. LeBron is I think personally, if LeBron James is the sole leader or he's the main leader of your team is being led by a bad leader. All LeBron James championship units have other guys when they're equally as leaders or even more of leaders than him. That's when they win. I'm not saying he's never been a leader, but when he is the guy that people are saying is the leader of the locker room, those teams do not succeed for real. He's not that great of a leader. He's a cool leader. And LeBron has that issue where it's just like some nights he's the GOAT, other nights he's just
about
LeBron.
that,
Now,
Dom?
just LeBron in the bad
Demon,
thing, just LeBron is still phenomenal,
What do you think
better than
about
85% of the league. But just LeBron goes on the court and he's pulling the Julius Randle.
You gotta unmute your
throwing
mic.
his hands up when the ball's turned over, walking up the court. He's walking off the court 30 seconds before the game ends. And not dapping nobody up when he loses. He displays a real sore loser mentality a lot of the times. LeBron is I think personally,
right now,
LeBron James is the sole leader or he's the main leader of your team.
You still hear it?
Now I took it off.
Okay, my bad.
I mean, I disagree with him because of this. In 2016, who was the Cavs leader besides LeBron? I get the Dwayne Wade point in the Rondo for the bubble ring, but in 2016, that was like all LeBron's leadership, right?
Was it Tristan Thompson, Kevin Love?
Like, come on, really? Like, are we gonna go there? Like, no way.
Right. Yeah, you're right.
So I don't agree, honestly. I mean, I agree with that he has bad body language, and some nights he's LeBron, and some nights he's like not the same LeBron. And that's more so nowadays. But nah, I wouldn't say he's a bad leader. And teams all the time that were led by him with the sole league. I disagree. You know me, I'm very quick to get on LeBron, but I actually disagree.
Yeah, but that's part of the reason why, like, as Knicks fans, when they were flirting with the idea, that was a huge reason why we were like, nah, no way, we don't want him over here, because you're gonna think, unless you're willing to show sacrifice, especially at this stage in your career, you guys, again, you don't want to believe me, he's a third option. Everything to do with the fact that he's 39 years old and he can't do this 2-3 times a week, let alone consistently. After the in-season tournament, you can't rely on that. And for him not to go, okay, I can make $50 million next year. But if you really want to win, I don't know if winning matters that much. Even for him, like, what does it mean to win a championship? If it meant that much, you're really a backup role. You're really a backup to the number one option and the number two option a lot of times. On the Knicks, there isn't a real number one. So you'd be, a six man to me and a third option. If you're imagine him doing what Westbrook did. It would just, I think everyone will go, oh, like the greats didn't do that. The legends weren't able to, they were forced to do that. He's kind of saying, because despite what I'm saying, that he's a third option, everyone else thinks he's a number two, basically right now. So if for you guys, he goes, yo, check this out. I'm going to be a six man and I'm going to go to New York and we're going to go win a title. What? This is Brunson's team. This is the Leon Rose team. They had their own thing going. I just want to show that I can win this way. There's more than one way to skin a cat and win a ball game. That's all I'm about. Then we go, damn, I know you had like that, Papa. And it changes everything. What do you think, Dom?
Why do we keep talking about LeBron going to New York like it's going to happen? Like, it's not going to happen. It's not going to happen this year. I don't think LeBron's going anywhere. That was a little bit of smoke. I don't think he's going anywhere. It's just it's illogical. It's kind of a waste of time.
Okay, thanks for
Does any 90 of you any 90 of you, the 94 people in here, does any of you think that LeBron James has a chance of being traded to New York this year?
But forget about being traded to New York. What I'm saying is that going towards what the video this guy said in the video, he said he's a bad leader. And a part of that is you're not willing to sacrifice your ego. Because, I mean, come on now. None of us are LeBron James. And we have our own egos and we have normal lives. And look, I got my shades on right now. I'm not giving them up right now. I look better with them right now. My eyes are going crazy. I've been working like hell. And I'm not doing that. So imagine him, what he has to give up in his own head. What got him to that point, right? If he were to do that, that is a subconscious signal to anybody who talks about basketball in this way, I believe. And he'll give that up. And I think if he wants to come here, that's what he's going to do. You got to come off the bench. And I'm making it known. Stephen A. Smith, you're a moron. We don't need him. If he brings, and he goes, hey, by the way, I'm bringing the big fella with me, AD. Wait, what? Now we're talking about legacy on a different level and being strategic about it where it makes sense. With the Lakers, you rebuilt from nothing as usual, and you thought you could be 39 years old and pull this off. No way. Hey, guys, got on late. What's the OG update? He's out for the Memphis Grizzlies game, M3TV. M3TV, you will love this dude, Dom. M3TV is a 63-year-old man, been watching the Knicks his whole life. Love this dude. This guy shows mad love.
It's dope. Yo, by the way, I just started a playback today. So all you guys join my room in playback where we can watch games live, old school games, whatever it may be. It's called, you got to go here. Let me put a link in there. It's the Dime Machine. And play that on playback, guys. It's an official partner of the NBA. So Fabian will probably be in there a lot. You know, anybody can be in there. Fabian can even start his own thing sometimes, his own stream. So I'm posting here, guys. Everybody sign up to the room.
We'll see. So Brian Windhorst, the LeBron James lackey, he was talking about LeBron.
Well,
and I guess won't ask for a trade or be traded by the Lakers, which is funny.
Because he's in New York for the next couple of days. The Knicks are red hot, and they wanted to eliminate any thoughts that is the issue. What Rich and LeBron want to focus on is what the Lakers can do over this next 8 to 10 days here to get themselves back in the position like they were a year ago when the moves at the trade deadline, not just the trades, but lineup changes made by Darvin Ham triggered an incredible second half of the season, not trying to answer questions about emojis, what a time to be alive, or questions about trade speculation.
Yeah, what a time to be alive. Yeah, Lakers Knicks tomorrow night, 8:30 Eastern on ABC. The Garden will be.
So that was Brian Windhorst saying that they won't, defending that the position of, oh, we're not asking for LeBron to be traded and LeBron won't be traded, okay. But then where's my thing? Then the towel thing happened. Where's that at? Where's my video at with Wendy? Windhorst. Oh, that's right here. It's an article. All right. Boom. Okay. Then all of a sudden, your man, Wendy, claims LeBron James used Knicks to pressure Lakers into trade for the NBA deadline. LeBron James wants the Los Angeles Lakers to be aggressive ahead of Thursday's NBA trade deadline. The four-time MVP posted on an ominous hourglass on X, formerly known as Twitter. And Windhorst said the towel move, see when LeBron wearing a towel here, in particular, was done to send a message to the Lakers front office. Of course, he was cognizant and aware that he was putting on a towel that said New York Knicks. Why would he mess with the Knicks? Because he was using the Knicks as a tool to pressure the Lakers. What the hell are you talking about, Brian Windhorst? What are you talking about? Like, why is it? How is he using us as a tool for what? What do you get out of that? Maybe I'm lost, Dime, because I'm a conspiracy guy. What does that mean? You're using the Knicks for leverage to do what?
To clearly get a player traded there, I guess. But do you think he just picked up the towel that was available?
But it's funny you say that. Dime dropper. Because
what?
Torian Prince had the same towel on.
Yeah, it's just a Knicks towel that was available. Like, these people are insane. It's sending a message. Everybody makes so much out of everything these days.
Jesus Christ. Torian Prince had the same towel on. And by the way, just so that we can explain what kind of a lackey Brian Windhorst is. LeBron James. Hey, it's a family show. LeBron James went to the same high school as Brian Windhorst, and Wendy landed his first 3 jobs because of him. Before he became renowned in NBA media, Brian Windhorst was considered the LeBron Whisperer. That is, I can't even say that word on TV. LeBron Whisperer for his impressive career covering LeBron. Le resume. went to the same high school as LeBron James, St. Vincent St. Mary High School, though he graduated 7 years prior. So he was so hyped at 25 years old about this 18-year-old guy. Clearly, the next coming of the next coming of basketball Jesus, that he went to go work for the school and cover, or at least cover the school and the rise of LeBron James in high school. He covered LeBron's early career at St. Vincent St. Mary High School as his first gig. Landed a job covering the Cleveland Cavaliers when LeBron James was drafted. Landed a job at ESPN covering the Miami Heat when LeBron James went to South Beach, and rose into stardom. Windhorst recently was on a Jimmy Trainer episode of Sports Illustrated podcast, and he said he tempered the idea that he is LeBron's closest media confidant. He went to the same high school, blah, blah, blah. He did say in the podcast, him and LeBron aren't actually friends, but he developed his relationship with him over the years and was able to gain lots of insight during the conversations in the locker room and hallways as James recognized the aspiring reporter from his days covering him in high school. I say all that to say, Braun, Clutch Sports, you guys stink. You guys think you don't have leverage, and you got to be very careful trying to pit two big media company teams like this, the Lakers, because if you look at that statement, Dom, when Rich Paul says we're not asking for a trade and LeBron is not being traded, that's a very firm statement. How the hell do you know LeBron is not being traded? You're not a general manager. I'll tell you how I know that, because he already had beef with the Knicks for the last 10 years, and he had an embargo against Leon Rose and the New York Knicks. So why wouldn't he do that with the Lakers if you dare try to trade LeBron James? He has the one up in that case. Unless the teams get together, the Buss family and the Dolan family, and they go, yo, check this out, man. Player empowerment is officially dead, and we're going to start with you. We can get rid of Clutch Sports. We'll buy them out. Leon Rose will buy CAA. We'll buy them out. The guy that owns Gucci owns CAA, and he's going to buy out Clutch. This is what you're going to do, Rich Paul. You're going to walk away gracefully with your $200 million or whatever you're worth. Enough is enough for you. I believe this could be the beginning of the end of Clutch Sports, how it's known, and going forward, unless they call Jay-Z and have a deal with LVMH to buy out Clutch, which they can do, maybe so. LVMH is obviously they are competitors to the Gucci family, Francois, whatever his name is, who bought CAA. If you call them up to go buy Clutch and have an option out there, then all of a sudden Rich Paul got leverage. But you're talking about billion-dollar companies. They're not going to allow Rich Paul to keep doing whatever the hell he wants to do. They don't really like him. I haven't heard one good thing about Rich Paul in my life. No disrespect to him. He's doing his thing. We respect his grind. But what you did was you went against the grain when you stole LeBron out of CAA. And now you're stuck between a rock and a hard place. The Lakers, if they wanted to restart, you can flirt with the idea of LeBron going to OKC, the Utah Jazz, with Anthony Davis and saying, you know what, let's hit the restart button and get some of these draft picks back. We have nothing. We have no capital, because Atlanta's not going to be the first team to tell you, hey, you need certain draft picks to come deal with us. They're not going to be the only team that does that. Obviously, first-round picks mean something. With the Minnesota Timberwolves going from the number 8 seed, basically a play-in, they fought in for a play-in spot last year, to the number 1 seed. This season, we've seen them go as far as the best defense in the league at times. Sometimes they look a little suspect. But the point is, they did all that with all these draft picks. So, Towelgate, Schmowelgate. Torian Prince was not mentioned as part of Towelgate. Get out of here, man. Enough is enough, Dime. Dime Dropper. Also, real quick, I know this is Knicks Rehab, and I touched on a bunch of stuff. But I am genuinely concerned with Jordan Poole. I know this is a Knicks Rehab thing, guys, and we'll revisit everything in a second. But he's averaging 12 points, 2 rebounds, 3.6 assists, and 35.7 at 35.7% shooting in his last 8 games. I don't want to be disrespectful to people, but this is like crackhead behavior. What the hell happened to you, Jordan Poole? Like, I even flirted with the idea of trying to acquire him and Tyus Jones or something, but there's no way you could go after him. His confidence is shot. He obviously left the championship team in Golden State the way that he did, and he fell out with them. Obviously, got snuffed by Draymond and everything, and they're floundering as well. But just to see how much, look at Andrew Wiggins, who they basically kind of was working alongside Jordan Poole for the last championship with Golden State. Another guy who lost his confidence. These things are so major when you talk about going after players and learning about them and seeking them out. How do you find these things out? How does one, like, we can't just read newspaper articles. These guys have to go about FBI style damn near to see, like, yo, what the hell's going on with Jordan Poole? Is he out of his mind? And hopefully with the Knicks, they find an FBI character to see what the hell's going on with OG Anunoby's elbow. Because I don't know if you guys were in on this, guys. Anybody in the chat? Anybody who's listening? OG Anunoby is out officially against the Memphis Grizzlies once again. Are you worried? 5 games in a row. Julius Randle is out. It's unlike a Tibbs lineup to not have one of your stars in the game or available when another one of your stars can't play. We're helping out so far. We've done well. We roped up the Lakers as best as we could. We've been beating bad teams. I think we're like 26-1 against bad teams, and we have another one coming up with the Memphis Grizzlies, who they seem like they're tanking for I don't even know what. A lot of these teams are, by the way. I don't know what the hell's going on, but that's what the latest news with that. The second thing was, if you guys want to rewind, was Quentin Grimes. He's not going to be traded unless we have a specific upgrade for a swingman, meaning somebody who could fill in for him and DiVincenzo for that second unit, it sounds like specifically. And, of course, you guys know about the clutch thing with LeBron and them thinking they're slick. 25-year anniversary of Walt Clyde Frazier and Mike Breen. And what else did we cover here, Dom? Mitchell Robinson is officially out 8 weeks. So tomorrow, wait for tomorrow's game, pregame against the Memphis Grizzlies. Tom Thibodeau will be updating us with the reevaluation of Mitchell Robinson, which is major, of course, because we expect him to come off the bench. I think we all, as Knicks fans, want him to come off the bench come playoff time if he is available. And if he is, we'll see with this update, during the reevaluation time. Let me get to some of these comments before I get out of here. All balls in the building. He's with us in spirit and the comments. Probably not coming back until after the break then. Right? And then you have like 9 days off that I saw, Los Knicks? What is the issue? I don't know. Hit the like button, y'all. Listen, there's 113 of you people in here. Followers. I don't call you people. That was crazy for me to say. 113 people in the building. 105 on AllBall TV, 5 on Fabian Perspective channel. Hit the like button, man. Peace. You got StreamYard? Yeah, my brain from StreamYard. If you got StreamYard, I guess we can link up. It's Outside You. I guess your name is Outside You Heard. No, not him. I think you're talking about LeBron. Hi, what's going on, Edward? GMs in Land Empire 2. Lakers got nothing to offer. Their basket is empty. They got LeBron and AD to offer. They got them. Trust me. The Lakers are thinking about it. They're Genie doesn't want to do it. They like their stars. They like drama too, by the way. OG out for the season. No way. Long Island Sound 1. Stop trying to scare me. Don't do that. OG is not out for the season. I love that you put a question mark there. At least you didn't scare me like some people in my life. They like to leave me with messages. I'm looking at one in the kitchen. At least there was a question mark involved there. Danny Berry, what's going on, baby? Just Knicks, old-ish. Oh, you talking about which one are you talking about? Knicks for life. Lorenzo, don't want him here. Yeah, we don't want him here either, bro. Off the bench. LeBron to New York Knicks equals nope. Edward. I like that. Hey guys, got on late. What's the OG of the other thing we talked about that, right? M3 TV. Fabian, thanks for the love. That's amazing. Yeah, of course, man. AllBall TV, thanks for the shout out. No doubt, man. Gotta get you on my show. That would be awesome. Yeah, no doubt. Just gotta set the schedule up. We're going crazy out here. Getting LeBron means likely trading Randle. That's fine until you likely lose LeBron after the season to whomever drafts Bronny. No LeBron, no Randle. Now what do? We don't need him. We don't need him. And Randle's a workhorse. He's been here for a couple years, but the writing is on the wall. I think we have to be comfortable with the fact of losing Randle. We've obviously the up and down relationship with Randle, and it goes back and forth. He booed us, we booed him, and by we, I ain't talking about me because I don't boo my players unless they do something silly, which he did that day because he had no reason booing us when you're the one performing bad. But there is an up and down relationship with us. There's also an up and down relationship with Julius Randle and CAA. He dumped them for, I believe, WME is his new home, but that is where his agent that was at CAA, he left and went to WME. So he rejoined his agent from CAA at WME, and now, remember RJ Barrett did that this past summer. He left CAA, and look where he's at now. OJ Anunoby had left whatever company and went with CAA. I think Clutch, if I'm not mistaken. He left Clutch and he went to CAA. And once that happened, there was some, if not writing on the wall, little pencil on the wall. You know what I mean? It wasn't a spray paint, but it was some writing. So we have to be comfortable with Julius Randle, possibly leaving, man. Like, it's a business. Do I want it to be for LeBron James straight up? No. If you can finagle or Anthony Davis and Julius Randle here, keep Hartenstein, I would do Mitchell Robinson, Julius Randle, automatic upgrade. That's an automatic upgrade. Hartenstein can come off the bench or spell Anthony Davis minutes because AD doesn't even like to play the 5. So if you can keep Hartenstein at the 5, AD at the 4, LeBron at the 3, or have him off the bench or playing alongside OG Anunoby, come on, man. That's what I would do if they want to do it that way. If you don't want to take that trade, LeBron James, you know where you could go. I ain't saying it on the air right now. LeBron does this passive-aggressive stuff every year around this time. Oh-ish. We got DD in the building. That's right, Bones Get Busy. What's up, Bones Get Busy? I see you follow me on Twitter recently. You always show love. Appreciate you, my brother. It's one of the mods. Bones Get Busy. I can't see your avatar, but I'm thinking you're a dude.
That's M3. Bones Island, bro.
What?
In his avatar was Bones Island.
Oh, okay. I'm sorry. But so we don't know if Bones Get Busy is got busy is a girl or a guy.
True.
Hard to take Windhorse seriously. He has always been a LeBron apologist, more so than a reporter. Yeah, but everybody, see, I don't want everybody to get this twisted. Michael Jordan did the same thing. People always try to pit like, oh, you're a Jordan guy. I never liked Michael Jordan growing up. Never liked him. I'm a Knicks fan. He would do similar things with the media. He didn't talk to Sports Illustrated, so he created embargoes. He knew what his power was. He didn't talk to what his name, Sam Smith, whatever his name was that made the Jordan Rules book. He knew what he was doing. He played games with the media as well. LeBron just is a little more clumsy with this stuff. I compare Jordan to the Godfather, compared to LeBron James. But he's a lot more cleaner. Just goes about things less clumsy than LeBron. LeBron just talks a little too much. And then you got Windhorse there that it's a different game too. Jordan he didn't play in the Twitter era where everything can be news and you have to really shut everything down. But I believe, the Kobe Bryants of the world, Jordans of the world, they just come off as a different kind of way, different demeanor, a lot more intentional. Same thing with like a D Wade. These guys are very intentional with how their presentation, how they go about their business. Oh, that explains Wendy. Worse than Jordan Rashad bromance or Ahmad Rashad. And we really enamored. We were enamored with Ahmad Rashad and Michael Jordan, bro. Ahmad Rashad, remember, he was Felicia Rashad was his wife. She was on the Cosby Show. And he used to come on NBA Inside Stuff. Ahmad Rashad was really cool. Ain't nothing cool about Wendy, except when he went, that was the coolest he's ever been. That's it. But Ahmad Rashad's a different level. CWC, Tibbs be over here overplaying guys. He keeps on being stubborn. We ain't gonna have a starter 5. A starter 5. That seems to be the thing too. And playing Brunson 44 minutes, we're kind of forced. That's why I was saying flirting with the idea of having Fournier in there in some games. But I hate seeing Michael Flynn. However you say his damn name, Flynn. It's Flynn, McBride, and Brunson. None of them are above 6'2". Malachi. Mm-hmm. Yeah, I had enough of him. Did I hear correctly that Clutch Sports is for sale or maybe? M3 TV, that is a Fabian conspiracy. Clutch Sports is for sale. He's looking for a way Rich Paul and LeBron know their grasp is coming to an end. The Lakers are telling them that they have less and less leverage as the days go by. CAA was purchased for $8 billion. $8 billion in September. They have $18 billion under management. $18 billion that they broker. Clutch has 1.8 around there. So 10 times less. So if they got sold for $8 billion, how much do you think Clutch is really worth? Maybe around $1 billion. And it's hard. I would think it's hard to really deal with all that. If CAA got sold, what do you think Clutch is dealing with? Remember, CAA is a Hollywood agency. Clutch is trying to be that. LeBron is opening up a studio in Hollywood. They need big bank as much as, or I don't know what else they're going to do. I see them selling. That's what I see. Tibbs is so stubborn. Jordan Poole thought he was a number one. Is that what the problem was? Yes, it is. I give Tibbs his flowers, but started leaving guys in for too long, and that's going to mess us up when we get in the playoffs. We need fresh legs. We need guys who can come in there also, bro. We didn't have this issue last season. I think we had, remember with Barrett and IQ, you had a guy in the starting lineup who could play with the second unit, IQ that could really take up minutes. We're really missing those guys as much as we've improved on a balance level, a chemistry level. It upgraded since IQ and RJ Barrett's departure. Yeah, but we need those bodies to continue the chain gang. CWC, play Toppin brother or Charlie Brown. See what these guys have. Stop waiting to the last minute to adjust. You know what, Warren? You're right, because we're playing the Memphis Grizzlies tonight. Why can't Brunson take the night off? Like, at this point, we should, like, limping to the playoffs. It should not be the goal. That should not be the goal. We have enough. We would be the scariest team healthy at the play-in team, whatever. We don't want to be a play-in team because with one game elimination, anything can happen. That's some, NCAA tournament type of style. You don't want that. We should aim to be between 1 through 6. We're actually a game behind the Bucks for second place, and the Cleveland Cavaliers are officially in third place. I was a year too late, but I'm glad Dime Dropper's here.
Looks like
boy.
Looks like my prediction for the season is going to be completely true.
What's that?
Number 1 seed Boston, number 2 seed Milwaukee. I did adjust though and put Philly third after the Harden trade, so I guess I was wrong on that. My original pick was Philly in 6th, and that could easily happen. But Miami would have to be 5th. But 3 was Cleveland, 4 was New York. Then I slaughtered him 1 down
Cleveland?
after Philly. I had Cleveland over New York the whole time. I haven't budged on that.
How'd you have 3 Cleveland this year when I said 3? They were 3 last year, and you had such a problem with that?
Because this is the second year after having experience of going to the playoffs. I think a team gets better, a young team with experience. And they picked up, we talked about in the preview. By the way, if you watch that preview, some of our answers, they aged so well and some aged so badly. It's like such a comedy watch. We should watch that on playback with people and just see our takes.
Let's do it. Jesus didn't expect to see Darian like that, so laid back. Long Island Sound one. Everyone seems to be just dragging themselves to the All-Star break for that vacation recovery time. Just came in. Can it be Thursday already? I have to know what we're doing. Master J3, what's going on, baby? Let's take our time. Let's be patient. I'm so worried about OG. LeBron is dirt. Are you all boss, cousin? Harmony, Carl, what's going on? Okay, come through, Shades. Come on, baby. We in the building. You guys think Clay gets moved at the deadline? I feel like the writing has been on the wall for a while now. I think it's time for them to split. And they're saying, and they're trying to put the pressure on Steph Curry. What do you think about that, Don? I'm thinking about that.
It might be time for them. It might be time for them to split, but I don't think they're going to move him.
Right, but why is it? It seems like they're putting it all on Steph Curry. Like, if he okays it, then we'll trade everybody. It's all on him, though. Like,
he's the god of the Warriors now. He's the best player in franchise history.
I get that, but that's a lot of pressure to put on him, especially when Bob Myers escaped before having to even make that sort of decision. Shout out to Cameron. That's the first person I ever heard say that he left so he didn't have to make that decision. So why do you leave? If you know that your general manager who helped design this dynasty, if he left to not deal with the pressure, why would you put that much more pressure on your superstar who just dropped 60? He doesn't need that sort of pressure on him. That's your job as a general manager. That's why, again, I respect Jerry Krause. Even though he was a bit scummy and they booed him since the early 90s, he still stood his ground and he went at Jordan. I gotta respect the man like that. All right. You guys think Clay gets more? And by the way, no, because I don't see Steph Curry. If they're relying on Steph Curry to make that deal, then no. CWC stands for Charlie Ward's cousin. I'm Charlie Ward's cousin. He played with the Patrick Ewing. Oh, wow. Patrick Ewing stars Oakland and boys in the 90s.
I know what Charlie Ward is.
Charlie Ward was a Heisman Trophy winner. He was a tough guy.
Warren Franklin, I got a question for you, bro. Do you think your cousin could play in today's game? Because I'm not saying he can't, because I don't know his game well enough, but I always see a lot of people that try to shit on the 90s or crap on the 90s say that Charlie Ward wouldn't even be in the league today. So let me know what you think of that. Is that disrespectful? Do they not know ball? Let me know.
It's not disrespectful. I think he would have to be a better shooter, but anybody who played guard, in my opinion, why can't they if they're playing in a tougher era?
But they can't shoot. Also, they say about Charlie Ward, they say he can't shoot, but he's a big guard, though, is he not?
I don't know if he was big. Let me see Charlie Ward. He wasn't a knockdown shooter. What is he? For his career, he was 36%. At one point, he shot 40%. How many games did he play?
He's 6'2", so no. He played 11 years in the NBA, though, man. So you can't just be terrible and play 11 years in the NBA.
Yeah, he shot 36% for his career. He went up to 37, 35, 38, 38, 37. He shot as many as 4 threes at one point in the 02-03 season, which is mad surprising on the Knicks.
I thought he was shooting 36% from the field.
No, from the field, he shot 40%. He shot bad. But 42.8%. 42.8%?
He shot 39% from 3 in 2000. That's really good.
Bro, he shot 40.
Why do people make up lies about these players? That's what I'm understanding. Okay, he might not be a knockdown 3-point shooter, but why do people act like he's incapable of like even making a 3? I just don't understand.
What season?
I hate people.
Relax, Dom.
No, I don't like it. Why do we lie about previous players to demean them, to prop up the now? Why can't players have existed?
Because we're all human and we all have some sort of agenda and we have an opinion. You have an opinion too. If they say that Charlie Ward said all that, now it makes for content, it makes for conversation, but hatred and this strength for calm down. Charlie Ward, we're proving right now, could have played in this era. If you got Makalala Flynn on the New York Knicks right now, you have all these players I could point to. Malachi Flynn on the Knicks right now. Get out, knock it off. And he was a defender, and he was tough. He was a Heisman Trophy winner. Not like a football player. Oh, yeah, he played football. No, Heisman Trophy winning quarterback, if I'm not mistaken. At quarterback, we praise Allen Iverson for being a point guard, a quarterback, and a shooting guard. You got to praise somebody like Charlie Ward also. So he's not just a normal basketball player. That's what we say about Danny Ainge. Danny Ainge played 2 sports. That means come on, he's showing some sort of physical, some sort of intelligence on different levels. That's not easy to perform like that. So, and he was drafted, if I'm not mistaken. Danny Ainge was in MLB.
Right. Show what's his name? Domer time next time.
Nah, come on. Some people are gonna be biased to it. You understand what I'm saying? There's some people who are just gonna look at you like.
We just listed a fact that he shot well from 3.
Some people don't care. I'm not here to argue with people like this. That's why I got my own channel. We got our own AllBall TV channel. I got my own channel. I'll take your stuff and I'll repost it and make some content out of it. We're monetized. We got super chats. We got memberships. I work on the Patreon. I'm working on everything else. I'm gonna start the merch again. We got playback coming up. They want to see us, Dom. That's what they pay you for. You use that as fuel to talk about it. And you say, look at these morons or these moronic statements, and you keep it pushing. Don't be a pansy. I like that, by the way.
Let me ask you a question. So you're telling me you said some people don't care. So you're telling me you would give them that evidence and just be like, no, like they would just deny it?
Bro, you're not. Listen, me and you, that's why we enjoy talking to each other about basketball, correct? I'm not going to be, I don't need, I need to see what, I want to hear what Dom got to say about this, and we could challenge each other at this on a scientific level. Everybody ain't scientists, man. People are, we're social creatures, and it tells you, it's telling about, some things in life. Basketball, sports can be very religious for people, and they become honed in on whatever their beliefs are, and they go crazy. I'm not gonna sit there. Sometimes it's entertaining. Look at Skip Bayless. He made a career out of it, a television career out of it. So it is entertaining, and it can become interesting. But then there's another side to it where it's like, that's why he can't really hold himself down or hold down a television show by himself, because you only want to hear your voice and be an antagonist the whole time. And that's cool and that's fun for its own, for its own show. But it's not what I want to do. You know what I'm saying? It's not what I want to do. I got Dom on here with me because I don't want to have that kind of conversation. It just goes in one place. It's going to be name calling. You don't know what you're talking about. Evolution. You believe in science somehow. Half of the science project, you just read half the science book, and then the other half you just totally threw out the window, right? Things can devolve. We don't just because it's going on doesn't mean that it got better. That's not what evolution necessarily means. Evolution means change. So people just take things and they run with it. But I'm not saying they're going to argue about whether Charlie Ward could play basketball or not, because it is arguable that he couldn't, because he doesn't look like these guys that we see today that are outstanding. Which is part of the problem. Just because he doesn't look like John Morant doesn't mean he can't play today. Like Mark Jackson. They think Mark Jackson couldn't play today.
I haven't heard that one as much because Mark Jackson's such a good passer anyway. You know what I mean? Like, yeah, his game is totally built for the 90s, but he was such a relevant player that I've never heard anyone say Mark Jackson couldn't play today. Although if I talk to more Gen Z bots, they probably would. Charlie Ward is someone because he's not as famous as Mark Jackson and all that. But as you said, like, we got guys like Malachi Flynn, who's only good at shooting. Like, there's guys in the league that like aren't all that,
What's so great about Kyle Lowry?
Okay, stop. Kyle Lowry is to be a Hall of Famer.
Oh, okay, on the cusp of it, whatever. But my point is that what makes him great, why we love him, is that he's gritty.
Phoenix is gonna kill you in the chat with that comment.
No, I'm saying Phoenix plays E. That's no disrespect. I'm saying Kyle Lowry could have played in any era.
Yeah, I wouldn't disagree with that. I don't do that. But what does that have to do with Charlie Ward?
There's nothing spectacular about him. It's straight will, grit, hard work, focus, or sort of Mamba mentality, like what Kobe coined, right? Nike coined.
He's a skilled player, though, Lowry. He has great range. He's pretty good at catching, shooting off the ball for a point guard.
He didn't start off that way. He was
good in the beginning of his career. He was nobody.
He was all right.
In the Rockets, I remember I was like, Kyle Lowry, okay, average NBA player.
On the Rockets when he started to take off. But my point is that
it was not good though. No one cared about them. They weren't on national television at all.
Right, but he evolved greatly.
Really,
he evolved to this guy where he's gonna have a statue in Toronto. Nobody thought that. Right. So all these guys, they're just seeing, they believe in it. That's what kills me about them. They believe in evolution so much, as if you strip down all of these dudes today, they don't learn any skills. Same body type. What the hell do you think they were in the 2090s? They had to work to get to this point. They weren't born out the womb evolved. We're not evolving through our DNA like that. That's not what's happening. You got someone like Wemby had to go play basketball. He didn't just pop out the womb 7'6", dribbling the ball like that. No, he had to work on all of that. And he was allowed to work on all of that. Back then, you weren't allowed to work on all of that. So again, all these factors that are not going to be talked about, but it is what it is. If they don't want to have this kind of conversation, then it's not as arguable as I don't know. Everything is arguable in sports. So LeBron James is the career scoring leader of all time. It's no longer arguable. But can Charlie Ward play today is arguable. We can argue both sides, and that's what makes this whole thing enjoyable. Go, Clips, go. Charlie can actually shoot the three. Yeah, Long Island Sound knows what he's talking about. Confession: I secretly root for the Knicks and the Clippers. By the way, Harmony is a young lady, so those kissy lips you got on there, if you're interested, they are they are from a lady. CWC Cavs in front of us by a game. We the
What's
4th seed
going
in the
on?
East.
What kissy lips?
She threw a kiss on the screen.
Oh,
in
I
the
didn't see
clip. CWC Charlie Ward's cousin. That's hilarious. CWC Charlie Ward's cousin. Cavs in front of us by a game. We're the 4th seed in the East. Right. It's the Cavs and the Bucks. But the Bucks are reeling. Oh my God, they're reeling. Dime.
Yeah,
Hold on a second. Oh, we have a Glen River, another Glen Rivers meltdown. And we got the ultimate Glen Rivers meltdown spokesperson on the air right now. Dime, are you enjoying life? The Clippers are hot as can be without the likes of Glenn Doc Rivers, and the Milwaukee Bucks, for some odd reason, decided to hire this man in the middle of the season, and they might fire him 10 games later because he looks crazy. How are you feeling about this?
Amazing. He's just going to slowly show how much of a fraud he is. And he somehow got to coach the All-Star team. Like, it's just amazing the jobs this guy gets. Like, the way he lucks into these great jobs. He gets to coach the All-Star team and he's 1-3 and even coach this team to wins. Like, how did we not get Nick Nurse to do it? Like, we can't adjust the rule for this season and let Nick Nurse do it, or JB Bickerstaff or Thibodeau, for God's sake. Like, come on. Insane. He sucks, dude. I'm going to save my Glenn for the postseason because it's going to be there.
This is insane. I can't believe he might be out by the time we come back from the All-Star break. That's just, and they're talking about, that was a rumor, they're talking about trading Grant Williams for Bobby Portis. So I'm not sure. Let me see any updates on that. Twitter. Bobby Portis. Okay, so that was 4 hours ago still. The Dallas Mavericks and Milwaukee Bucks have discussed a Grant Williams Portis swap, according to, I think, the Stein line. That's Mark Stein. The Mavericks and Bucks league sources say have held exploratory discussions on the trade that would swap Milwaukee's Bobby Portis and newcomer Grant Williams. Let me finish up these topics, these comments. So a Caruso type. Oh, is that who they're comparing Charlie Ward to? Maybe. Yeah. Caruso, yeah, because Caruso is such a another guy could play in any era, right? Tough. And you don't think he's that good. That guy, man, oh man. If we get DeRozan, we gotta go after him. Here's 3 draft picks. Charlie was a tough-nosed point guard. He was the point guard of the 1999 team. He also got kind of flipped over by our guy and started a crazy fight. Charlie Ward was that dude. He shot 41% on 3 attempts a game in the early 2000s. That's not bad at all. Him and Chris Childs. Chris Childs was crazy. But, I think he had an alcohol issue. Ward was a solid player, perhaps more suited as a backup, but he was a smart, heady player. You just wouldn't expect 50 points, explosive offensive exploits from him. He was a pass-first guard, solid defender. Charlie Ward can ball. I come from a basketball background. The Knicks wanted my uncle named John Ward. He's from Long Island, New York. Oh, that's dope. Where's the merch? Coming soon, Harmony. Coming soon. Pause. CWC, thanks, Long Island Sound 1. CWC, salute. Glad you're okay, G. I'll be on Uncle Freezy podcast show sometimes. Oh, yeah, who's Uncle Freezy? Bayless is not Cosell. But Howard Cosell is the OG to all this M3 TV. We're keeping it 1,000. He even had a book that was called I Didn't Play the Game or something like that. What was the name of Howard Cosell's book? That's hilarious.
I don't know Howard Cosell even wrote a book, but that's facts. What he's saying.
Howard Cosell, I never played the game. And that's such a double entendre, right? I never played the game. Is it this one? No, it's not that one. Where is it at? There we go. I never played the game. 1985. Popular broadcaster describes his involvement and recent disillusionment with Spectator Sports and documents his 32 years as a sports journalist, giving and revealing accounts, whatever. But
Yeah,
Howard Cosell is the OG to all this stuff, man.
We got accepted in playback.
Oh, there's a accepting process or whatever.
Yeah,
Cool.
for onboard, like for the potential payment stuff.
Nice, congratulations. Mark Jackson would have averaged 10 plus assists today. I would think so. He just, remember, the thing about him is he would have to adjust and stay slim, stay in fit, because him and Barkley are the reason why they got rid of that 10-second back down rule or 5-second back down. Or they implemented the 5-second back down rule. Oh yeah, I forget, that's your name, your chat name. Let's go Knicks, CWC. Charlie Ward got the job done. Say what? I'm gonna get you. Did you read what I said? I think so. It looks crazy what he's coaching the East. Why? A trade could save the Bucks, in my opinion, but it's going to be tough for Doc. Ain't what, one trade? Bucks are done, bro. The Bucks are done. What happened last night, Giannis, we got to start talking about him, man. You got to start talking about him. Shouldn't have got your damn coach fired. 2 of them now. You could have had Nick Nurse. Might as well, campaign to leave. Why'd you resign, Giannis? Silly rabbit. Something stinks about how he got the Bucks job. And to coach the All-Star team, Tip should be coaching perhaps, but you'd get in 69-68 final score. OG is out for how long? They're not saying Jay-Z. Beers. Tom Thibodeau will update us in the pregame of the prior to the Memphis Grizzlies game tomorrow night, Tuesday. Cosell said stuff he knew went against popular opinion to get ratings. I actually had the honor of having lunch with him once on a 3rd Avenue restaurant in New York City. What 3rd Avenue restaurant? In Manhattan? That's number 1. Number 2, he said he knew he would against popular opinion to get ratings. But that's what it, again, de-evolved to, right? Like Stephen A. Smith does the same thing. You think Stephen A. Smith ain't up there knowing what will get ratings? You know what I mean? Like Skip Bayless does the same thing. They actually check what spikes in ratings when they go to the back, when they sit in the back. They go over all these things. They have a team of people doing this. Howard Cosell is the beginning of all this, right? Like what he did with Muhammad Ali and all these TV antics that he did. It was so original, and it's closer to the origin of television, especially color TV, that it feels like, it can't get any better. There's a lot of nostalgia with that because he's the original. But he did do a lot of what they're doing now. We can't get away from that. He's an entertainer. Channel name is Blorange Tears. Cosell knew exactly what he was doing. Stephen A. Smith and Bayless copied him 1000%. And everybody else did. We all do. Howard Cosell's the OG, man. Just like Howard Stern is the OG for all this stuff too. And he has had some. Howard Stern was going crazy, like really sick. Resigning OG may no longer be a certainty. Re-signing OG may no longer be a certainty. Nah, you got to resign him. You traded a 3rd round, like the politics of it. You traded a third pick for him. RJ Barrett had enough value as a trade asset, and IQ combined with IQ, they had enough of a trade asset to go and get the likes of an OG. His upside is way too crazy. You sign OG, but now if we swing back the other way, Knicks will be 2026 NBA champs. I love your name. If you can swing that statement the other way, his value drops now when in negotiations, right? He can't ask for no max. We have a reason to say, the hell's going on with your elbow, Nolan Ryan? Favorite perspective, expected, so accepted. Appreciate Dime Dropper, doing a drive-by. Maybe I shouldn't say that because he's in LA. And Flea was able to stop by earlier. Appreciate y'all. Knicks Rehab. AllBall was in the building. Deja un like, comentario, y subscribe. We are 55 away, if I'm not mistaken, from getting 6,500 subscribers. Please like, subscribe, share. Tell them how much you love me with my sunglasses on. Tell them how much you don't. Tell them how much you hate my crown on my tooth, which makes me look like a buck-toothed beaver, as this commenter told me the other day. That was hilarious. I was dying for like 10 minutes straight. He called me a buck-toothed beaver. How dare you call me a woodchuck like that? I would have smacked you in real life. But the point is, Fabian PerspecTV's in the building, and he's leaving. Well, elbow injuries are not something to be taken lightly. I just want to know what the hell's going on. We out of here, baby.